Natural resources. What is resource? Everything available in our environment which can be used to satisfy our needs provided it is technologically accessible, economically feasible and culturally acceptable can be termed as what? Resources. So then here next is the classification of resources. Resources is being classified into two, natural and human resources, which are being further classified into that is natural resources classified into renewable and non-renewable, human resources structural and quantity and quality. We can see the further classification of natural resources in the next pages. The resources on which humankind is dependent are provided by various spheres or sources that are atmosphere, lithosphere, hydrosphere, and biosphere. The resources can be classified or into the following ways. That is, on the basis of origin, resources are being classified into biotic resources and abiotic resources. Then, on the basis of exhaustibility, it is classified into renewable and non-renewable resources, and where the resources is further classified into continuous or flow and biological resources. Then we are discussing on the basis of ownership. Resources are classified into individual resources, community owned resources, national resources and international resources. Then on the basis of status of development, resources are being classified into potential resources, developed resources, stock and reserves. Then, what is natural resource? Natural resources are resources that exist without any action of humankind. This includes the sources of valued characteristic such as commercial and industrial use, aesthetic value, scientific interest, and cultural values. Then we can see that we had seen that already seen that natural resources classified into two, renewable and non-renewable resources. Renewable resources is classified into two, continuous or flow and biological resources, and non-renewable resources is classified into recyclable and non-recyclable resources. We have already seen that some of the examples of continuous or flow are being mentioned here. Next, the biological resources is being classified into two, wildlife and forest. Forest resources. What is forest? Forest is a community of trees and associated organisms covering a considerable areas, utilizing water and minerals to attain maturity and to reproduce and capable of furnishing is known as forest. Functions of forest. Forests have protective function, productive function, regulative function and accessory function. So, what is depletion of forest? As we have seen that the exploitation of forest is as old as man himself, but during older times, the exploitation was balanced through natural growth of the forest and has been on a large scale. Reasons for depletion of forest are expansion of agriculture, urbanization, commercial exploitation, mining. What are the after effects of forest? Rise in temperature, less precipitation, soil erosion, flood, mass extinction of flora and fauna are the after effect of forest depletion. How can we conserve forest? By regulated cutting of trees, control over forest fire, afforestation, protection of existing forests, conservation of the endangered species, developing green belts around the cities, we can protect forest. What is deforestation? Deforestation refers to the decrease in forest area across the world that are lost for other uses such as agriculture, cropland, urbanization, or mining activities. Consequences of deforestation are desertification, soil degradation, loss of vegetation, destruction of natural habitat, loss of wildlife, and pollution. Methods to prevent deforestation are prevention of human settlement in forest area, prohibition of agriculture, control on overgrazing, control in mining in forest area. Water resource. What are the sources of water resource? The two main sources of water resources are surface water and groundwater, where in surface water it includes river, lake or fresh water, and in groundwater are the water found in underground in the cracks and spaces in the soil, sand and rocks. What are the uses of water? Water are being used for our daily purpose. It is a universal solvent, helps in maintaining our body temperature, helps in digestion, and is used in factories and industries. Also helps in the growth of plants, vegetable, and crop. Flood. A flood is an overflow of water that submerges land that is dry. Causes of flood are heavy rain, overflowing river, broken dams, storms, surges, and tsunamis, urban drainage basins, channel with steep sides, lack of vegetation, melting snow and ice. Measures to control flood: planting vegetations to retain excess water, terrace slopes to reduce slope flow, building alluvium, construction of dikes or dams to store extra water during flood period, control land use around river, channel and drainage improvement, diversion of flood waters, natural detention basins. Conservation of water resource. Water conservation includes all the policies, strategies, and activities to sustainable manage the natural resource of water, to protect the hydrosphere, and to meet the current and future human demand. The goals of water conservation effort includes ensuring the availability of water for future generation, energy conservation while wastewater treatment, habitat conservation. Mineral resources. Minerals. Minerals are naturally occurring substances that have a definite internal structure. Examples of minerals are diamond, limestone, etc. They are obtained by the process of mining, and it is being defined by geologists as homogeneous naturally occurring substances with a defined structure. What are the impacts of mining? Mining is done to extract minerals from deep deposit in the soil by using subsurface mining, or from shallow deposit by surface mining. The former method is more destructive, dangerous, and expensive, including risk of occupational hazards and accident. Environmental impacts of mining includes the issues related to the limits of mineral resources in our earth crust in the ocean is not so significant. More important, environmental concerns arises from the impact of extraction and processing of these minerals during mining, smelting, etc. How can we conserve minerals? Mineral formation is an extremely slow process, hence it is an important need to conserve mineral. Only 1% of the total mineral deposit are accessible. Minerals are limited resources and will get exhausted if not used judicially. And resources. In economics, land is the resource that encompasses the natural resource used in production of land, was considered to be the original and inexhaustible gift of nature. In modern economics, it is broadly defined to include all the nature provides, including minerals, forest product, water, land resources, etc. Importance of land resources. That is, it is a renewable resource essential for functioning, supports all living beings, and it's being depleting day by day. Soil. The weathered surface of earth crust which is associated with living organism and the product of the decomposition is called soil. The main constituent of land is soil, and its process of formation is known as pedogenesis. Four different types of soil are being mentioned here, that is red soil, black soil, alluvial soil, laterite soil. Next, what soil erosion. So, erosion of soil is known as soil erosion, and the two main constituent or for this is wind and water. Desertification, transformation of arable or habitable land to desert as by change in climate or destructive land use, leads to the abundant desert-like landscape. Causes are overgrazing, deforestation, overcultivation, inappropriate irrigation, drought, climate change, etc. And its consequences are reduced biological productivity, biological loss, loss of food insecurity, increase in soil erosion, decreasing water availability. How can we counter desertification? We can counter desertification by afforestation, water conservation, livestock management, and wise agriculture method. Energy resources. Energy and environment have a strong relationship. The production and consumption of energy is one of the biggest causes of environmental damage on Earth. It also leads to the destruction of natural landscape and habitat through the process of fuel extraction, pollution of soil, climate change, etc. Energy possesses many problems for the sustainable development of our country. Energy production causes environmental problems like global warming, acid rain, smog, etc., and human health problems like asthma, cancer, etc. Different forms of energy are kinetic, potential, light, gravitational, sound, elastic, electromagnetic, or nuclear. Energy can be classified into two: renewable energy and non-renewable energy. Non-renewable energy is a form of energy resources which cannot be replaced or is replaced very slowly by natural process. Coal, petroleum, and natural gases are examples of non-renewable energy, and these are called fossil fuels. Types of fossil fuels are coal, oil, natural gas, and next, renewable energy generated continuously or practically without decay of sources. Important type of renewable energy are solar energy, wind energy, geothermal energy, hydro energy, biomass.
We have learned about natural resources for so long, and it is our responsibility to pass these natural resources to the next generation. Protect the natural resources and pass them on to the next generation.